Warning: this podcast may contain adult content or language. It also might contain content that could be seen from others as uncomfortable or upsetting due to personal reasons. If that is the case, then please proceed with caution or stop the video, as we at the table are comfortable in most circumstances. This is a safety blanket meant for all individuals watching these episodes, as it is unclear what story content will be displayed. Hope you enjoy the story.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Welcome back to DoubleTime, where we somehow create a tangible story from nothing.
From nothing, with numerous plot holes, and yeah.
Just don't look at that. Just look at the going on story. Don't think about the past.
If you
Don't think
see
about
one,
that.
do not tell us, because it no longer exists.
Anyways, where we last left off, we talked to Relic, the new Lord of the Nine Hells, and he agreed to send us with a task force known as the Valkyrie that will be captained by Izith, who will then take our direction. Before leaving, though, Zariel and us went back to the Hollowed Man, the stone figure that was giving us aid far a long time ago, apparently, as it has been 5 years in the Nine Hells, while it's only been a month and a half for us. Releasing him from his curse, he was an elderly tiefling man with a slightly damaged horn, and we brought him back with us. Discussing with the group there, we spent the better part of the remainder of that day preparing ourselves, getting some armor for the tiefling man, who we do not know his name, and also just gathering supplies. Not before, though, a divine intervention to bestow misfortune onto the approaching city, which will hopefully come into play when the time comes.
I think right now we're just playing hot potato with who has to start the war, if there is a war.
It does seem to be like that, because after relaxing some, going back to the group to figure out what our next step was, we found that discussion on the defense mechanism known as the Arch Crystal is not going well. So, traveling through teleportation sigil magic, Jester had a revelation that we could use this to also use to teleport into the city of Neverwinter, as we had used a teleportation sigil to leave the city of Neverwinter. Teleporting over to the city... I keep forgetting its name.
Caladir.
They found the Sultan of sorts, the Lord, as others have called him. And he's a 3.5 foot tall man who has tried to be stern, but clearly it is a front, threatening to leave to let the entire city fall. He confessed to everything and asked for the aid of Jester and his group. Moments before losing control, he agreed to lend for a day the crystal to defend the city of Waterdeep if we were to resolve the issues that he has, as his city is supposedly under siege by a masked group with slightly larger versions of other creatures. And that's where we last left off. Before we get into it, I want to say, if you're ever interested in tabletop RPGs, you should check out RPGLeague at their landing page, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, because they do reviews on other tabletop RPGs. They don't just do it on D&D and Pathfinder, they do it on White Wolf, Star Wars, and the like. So check them out. They also do fan-nominated tournaments. If you're ever interested in going to something similar to like Adventurers League, then check them out at their landing page at www.rpgleague.com.
Yes.
Oh boy.
All right.
I am ready.
Good, because I'm not.
Oh boy.
Anna,
Yes.
it's hot.
It
It's
is
very
hot.
hot.
And it's gross.
It's uncomfortably hot. You're cooking. You're sweaty. You don't know why.
Ugh.
You look around. You don't recognize where you are. But you know who this man is. You've been observing. And he stares at you. With hope in his eyes, this little man. And your friends are all standing around, and Chalet at least knows that you have switched. She can see it in your eyes. The different posture.
Yeah. Like I said before, we're going to go and investigate, and hopefully by the second day, or sooner, we will have succeeded. Before we leave, though, can I ask of you to allow us full services inside the city, so that way we can fully prepare ourselves against this force?
Of course, you have everything you need.
Good. My name is Anna, and it's good to be working for you.
You do strike me as more of an Anna than a Frank. But yes, it is a pleasure to work with you as well. And I hope that this agreement will be honored by both of us. Yes.
I hope so as well. Because of course, I mean, worst case scenario is that you break our bond and wage war against Waterdeep.
You can see he starts to sweat a little bit more. Yeah, that's, no, not happening. Nope.
No, I don't think that would do well either, and I'm gonna flap out my wings. I am very well acquainted with them, and I wouldn't want something terrible to happen to this city or theirs.
Are you trying to make him shit himself? Is that the plan here, Anna?
I'm just getting the point across. I don't like his design of this building, and I think that he uses his own shortcoming, pardon my words, to try to receive aid.
That is rude, but also correct.
Like I said, thank you for seeing our side of things. We will be off and find, hopefully, a quick resolution to this problem.
Mm-hmm. He kind of runs away from you.
I'm gonna turn back. Alright. So now where do we begin?
Barst kind of scratches the back of his head. Well, so they're attacking from the mountains, so probably a good place to check, I guess.
Right. We're on two fronts as well, so we need to figure out which one is potentially the more high risk.
Yeah.
Well, we should also probably take a look at these mountains themselves. I don't think, well, as far as I haven't seen them yet.
Do you have any of that, he waves his fingers at you, magic? Save some time, at least.
Magic for what?
I don't know, looking around far away?
I mean, sure, but I could also just leave the building.
Well, yeah, but, like, the mountains aren't very close, I don't think. I could be wrong.
But stature-wise. Just because I don't think every mountain's exactly the same height.
Well, I don't know. I don't know this place at all. I've mostly been in this building yelling at that little man over there.
Well, yeah, I understand that, because clearly you are wound up.
I am not wound.
You are woke.
I am. I am. He storms out, muttering to himself, I am.
Take a right. I'll meet you in the other rooms. We might be able to seek aid from some of them. Some of them are there.
I am.
I'm gonna look at Chalet and Eris. How are you two doing?
Better than him.
He's pretty tight. He's pretty tense.
I guess that's what happens when you're dead and then resurrected and then brought to see genocide and then brought here to argue with that man.
It hasn't been a good time.
No. I was promised adventure, not war.
Well, I mean, you're in a new city. You traveled across the Sea of Swords.
Eris rolls her eyes and walks away. She's also mad. The lady just holds her face.
Look,
you see, this is why we can't go without you, because they do this.
I just didn't want to bring you to hell. And it's good that I didn't, because it was also war there.
Oh, great. I'm so pleased.
That's a war that we do not have to fight.
Thanks.
There's no way we can.
God.
It's between the creatures of the abyss and the layers of the Nine Hell. There is, quite literally, nothing we can do, as they have been waging this war for eternity.
Great. Yep.
So, let's just go find some ideas and go from there.
Okay. Unlike those two, I had to leave several times because I got a little heated. Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit.
I'm gonna give, eyebrows. A little bit.
Just a little bit. And she is not looking at you at all.
It's alright.
I may have yelled and flipped a table.
Well, in your defense, the man's a little shit. But
she looks over her shoulder at him. He is a little shit. Fuck him. Oh,
but we need to work with him.
As I was outside, the mountains are far away, I guess. They look far away. They aren't very tall. The one to the north is, but it's farther away than the others.
Then we should start with the closer one.
Probably a good idea.
Well, we have full services of the city, so we can probably fetch some horses. That'll be able to speed up our time. Because obviously we are on a time crunch.
Yes. Yeah, I'll follow you and stay calm, because I am calm.
You are calm.
Yes, calm. You can see she gives a very pained, forced smile. I'm calm.
Let's go to the other two.
You step out into the hall, into the other room, and you can see Barth smashing his head against the wall. I am. Eris is there. Okay, stop. Stop. Oh, no, he did it again.
Barst, let's go relieve some tension.
Yep.
On creatures that are waging a siege.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready to murder many things.
Let's get out of the city for that. For now.
It's so hot.
It is. Let's go ask. Maybe we can find that tiefling woman again. We need to ask around to find where we might be able to get some horses under the Lord's name, so that way we can travel faster, travel through the night, to make as much headway as we can. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get there, because it is fairly morning, but we don't know if it'll fall into nighttime when we get there. We also don't know anything about the force that's approaching us, or the force that is hitting the city. This heat wave is definitely not something that I would want. It's oddly dry.
Yeah, let's I'll follow you. And Eris is like, yes, I will make sure this fool doesn't kill anyone. She looks at Barst.
He'll be fine. Just needs to relieve himself.
Alright. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over back towards that tiefling woman.
Okay, you find her easily enough. She's just there, watching over the others, making sure they aren't gonna blow themselves up or anything. Oh. Hi.
Hello, ma'am. I wanted to ask you a little bit about what's been going on. We've been given full services of resources by the Lord, and we're going to go investigate the mountains to see if we can put a stop to the siege, or what it is.
I see. Okay. I don't know much more than anybody else, I suppose, but I could give you information.
Well, anything is better than nothing, because we know quite literally nothing about this city. How long have you had this crystal made?
It's been a while. 5 months, maybe?
5 months.
Well, it's been up there for 5 months. Whether it's been working or not has been quite the debate.
Gotcha. Do you know how it was made?
The magic that went into creating it was far beyond me, but took a lot of extremely powerful mages a long time to build it, and a long time to get it working.
I also believe that. Thank you. Do you know where we might be able to find a horse and a wagon by chance to help us travel?
Probably check the gates, I assume.
That's actually probably an obvious answer. Thank you. What is it that you do here?
I watch over these students and engineers.
A caretaker, kinda?
More of a head mistress, I suppose, though I abstain. I hate the word. I just make sure that they don't do anything illegal or dangerous to themselves or their colleagues.
I see. That's fair. Well, thank you. Don't have really any other questions.
If you are heading out, be careful. I've heard stories of these things that come out of the woods, mountains.
Out of the mountains? The things that are attacking the city?
Yes, they're odd, I suppose would be the word for them.
Do you know anything more about them? Like,
I haven't seen one, and I've never been brought a sample, for reasons that I will explain after this. They are undead, I believe. I've been told, at least, they're undead.
Oh.
But not your typical zombie or skeleton. They look emaciated, like skin stretched over bones.
Oh.
Black and charred. They wear, some of the more powerful ones wear ornate jewelry, like crowns and things.
Would I know anything about this creature or entity?
Make a very disadvantaged history roll.
Okay,
History
well,
check.
at least I have a plus 11. Oh, the first one's a natural 20, so second one, the disadvantage. 16.
16. You've heard stories about these weird skeletal zombies wearing ornate jewelry, but mostly from like Zakara or places that have like tropical forests. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them to be around here in like a nice temperate climate.
Especially coming from a mountain. Huh.
They, when they're cut or dismembered or whatever falls off of them also seems to turn into sand. And I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard.
Interesting. They turn into sand? Is the sand yellow, or is it kind of like ash?
Actual sand, I think. Sand like the beach, like a desert. I don't know.
Maybe they're formed by the sand through magical means. Well, need to be more research on that. Thank you. That is actually very, very helpful.
I'll be around if you have any more questions.
Well, we're going to be leaving here shortly. We were given full services based off of what the Lord said. Do you have like a barracks or a distributor for potions of kinds or anything like that?
You would have to check with the Royal Alchemist. He is a strange man, but don't tell him that I said that. You can find him down that hallway, and she points down. At the far end, at the very end of the hall. Can't miss him.
Alright, I'll head over there. Thank you very much for your time.
She nods and gives a slight smile, and turns back to what she was doing.
Alright, I'm gonna go over towards the alchemist then.
Okay, so you head down this hallway. It's quite long. Seems to run the length of whatever building you're in. And you throw open the door, because there is a door on this one.
Oh.
The only door.
That's concerning. In a place of no doors, there's a door? Suspicious.
You find yourself in a round, cylindrical room. It's a tower. It's a tower. You know it's a tower. The door opens up onto like a yes, of course, into a like a round balcony sort of thing, and you can peer down to the space below, which you assume to be his main work area. Their main work area, you heard nothing. There's like beakers and vials everywhere down there, plants, you name it, it's down there.
Oh, jeez. This is going out of my expertise now.
If you go left around this balcony area, you'll take the stairs down to the bottom, and if you go right, you'll go upstairs to what you assume is his quarters. Their quarters. I did it again. Fuck.
I'm gonna go down then, because if he's awake, I don't want to go up to his room.
Okay. So you head down.
Their room.
You don't see anyone down here. There is a large assortment of alchemical tools and plants. Make an investigation check.
Oh boy. That's actually pretty good. 19.
19. In the back, opposite the room from the stairs, you can see a large plant that looks like it might have a mouth or something. It's all closed up, but it looks like it might try to eat things with its face.
Alright, let's go back upstairs. Let's go find this chemist.
You hear a muffled cry from somewhere in the room.
Is it coming from the plant?
It might be.
I'm gonna go over to the plant. Is the crying coming from inside?
Yes. Help me, someone, please. I got too close.
Bars, can you give me a hand?
What are we? Did we chop in the plant?
No, let's pry open the mouth. The plant might be useful.
Okay. He grabs the bottom jaw.
And I'm gonna pull at the other side.
Okay, make a strength check.
Oh boy. Straight modifier for this one, boys. Hey, 15.
15 burst go to 22. Look at you two. You just easily pry open its jaw. It is just a plant after all. Sliding out of its mouth covered in ooze is a little gnomish man. He is
Jester,
wearing...
don't look.
You just feel this rage in the back of your mind. He is wearing what looks to be like destroyed formal clothing, like something you might see at like a lord's ball or something. But they're completely in tatters, burns, stains. It's a mess. He wears very fancy shoes that appear to be clean. The only part of him that is clean. He has white frizzled hair and a little broom mustache, like nice and wide and just straight across his face. He has a pair of goggles on his forehead. And as he stands up and cleans himself off of this ooze, you notice that his left arm from the elbow down isn't fleshy. It's robotic.
Interesting. Is that something that you made?
The arm? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Long time ago.
Oh no.
What?
Nothing. No, so sorry, you just remind me of someone else.
I've been in that plant for minutes, I say. Minutes. It's terrible in there.
Well,
he slaps the plant. Fuck you. God, I'm so filthy again. Well, more filthy, I guess. He cleans off his face and kind of just shakes the goo onto the floor. Oh, I don't like the plant.
The goo.
Greywing. He holds up his hands and yells up into the ceiling. Greywing. Down from the upper floor, a mechanical bird flies down, it looks about to be about eagle-sized, and he holds out his robotic hand and it lands on it. Ah, hello. I need you to make a note. Buy some hedge clippers, trimmers, whatever the fuck they're called, so I can chop the plant. The bird lowers its head slightly, and then hops onto the nearby table and begins to write something with its foot. Like one of its fingertips kind of just like pops off and starts writing something on a piece of paper.
Jesus.
Ah, that's Greywing. I met him a long time ago too. I am very filthy. But I assume you came to ask for something. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have found me, and I would have been digested by a plant.
Well, I'm glad that we came then. No, we're investigating the siege that's been going on with your city, as well as the heat that's been casted upon it. We were given full access to anything that we necessarily might need for this venture. So we came to you to see if there was anything that you would be able to allow us to take with us for this endeavor.
You have come to the right person. I am the best, I was going to say alchemist, but I'm the best at everything. Really. I built him. I built this, points at his arm. I built, this tower, I guess. I've brewed those over there. He points at like a shelf full of these weird potions that you've never seen before. If you need it, I can make it.
Well, that's very talented.
Yes, I am a man of many talents.
Clearly you are. So?
He holds out his hand. My name is Corwin, by the way.
My name is Anna. I also go by Jester and Izeth.
Weird. But that's fine, I guess. Oh, Greywing, by the way, also put down, make sure to incinerate the plant as well. The bird nods again and continues writing. Thank you. Oh, I hate that plant.
What's this guy's name again? Cordwin?
Corwin. Korwin.
Okay. Oh, weird. All right.
I'll tell you who this is after we're done, because I don't think you do.
Is this a character that you made up?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Oh yeah, no, I have no idea then.
He was the one that might have replaced someone if someone had died earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Funny. So you made a gnome? And
I
yet
made
you
a
have a
gnome.
character that hates gnomes?
Absolutely.
It's hypocritical. Anyways. Well, Corwin, it'd be greatly appreciated if you would help us, as we have no idea what any of this will necessarily do.
That's probably for the best. You don't really seem like you know what you're doing in here. Take a seat, I guess. All of you. I only have 2 chairs, so I guess
I'll have to
some
stand.
of you stand.
I'll have to stand. As I lean against the wall and then stand.
That looks uncomfortable. I have a stool. Would you like to sit on a stool?
No, I'll stand. Chalet, would you like a stool?
I'll take a stool, yeah. Corwin pulls out this teeny tiny little gnomish stool. She kind of sits on it, and she's basically sitting on the floor. Perfect. And he gives like an awkward smile, and then immediately turns away. Perfect.
I'm trying to hide my laughter at Chalet.
He looks at you and shoots daggers.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It looks great.
Greywing, also make sure to note that we need more chairs.
Fucking Greywing. Is this dude a wizard? Like, what is he?
He is an artificer.
Ah. Interesting.
Yes. He is.
As a player, I have no idea what that is. So
He is very, very good.
at what he does.
His bird could probably fuck you up.
Oh. I see.
Okay, so you require what exactly?
Honestly, anything that would make our venture easier, something that might help aid us if we're injured, items that we can just borrow for the time being, or honestly anything, because we're going to be going off with just us 4 to go and try to prevent the siege from attacking your city.
Ah, yes, I don't know what they're called. I have yet to see one, but they sound awful, and I might come with you because I want field research.
Oh.
Greywing, make a note. I will be leaving. The bird nods and continues to write. Thank you.
You have no idea how funny it is that you haven't finished Critical Role. Because this is so similar to something that's in Critical Role in the first campaign. And it's only better because you made this with no knowledge.
Absolutely no knowledge.
That is hilarious to me. Anyways.
Okay, so, anything. He ponders for a moment.
Especially if you're going to be coming along with us. Then take everything that you can.
Where is my coat? I need... Greywing, where did you put my coat? The bird looks at him and tilts its head slightly. Go get it. He nods and flies back up to the top.
I would imagine in your room.
Probably. Probably. A few moments later, the bird comes back down carrying this very stylish ash gray coat.
Ash.
Ash. It is, by all standards, a very, very good-looking coat. And unlike everything else he's wearing, it appears to be spotless.
Huh.
Greywing flies down and drops him the coat, and he puts it on, like,
Still
almost
covered in
immediately.
ooze.
Oh, fuck. He holds up his mechanical hand, and you can see on the palm is like a... like a series of vents and ports. And he twists it ever so slightly, and you can see it begins to glow. and his thumb and his middle finger also begin to glow the same kind of like faint blue color. And he snaps his fingers and he casts Prestidigitation.
Why didn't he do that when he was so dirty?
I was distracted. Greywing, write down that I must no longer be distracted.
What is it with you and fucking weird characters? Why do you have such an arsenal of the insane? That's so amazing to me. The other two were just on the spot moments, though. You based them off of Corwin.
He looks at all of you and he's like, nothing? You've got nothing to say about any of this? I just created magic from nothing. I can't cast spells.
Everything is happening very quickly, and I'll be honest, I'm a little shocked and don't know what to say. Barst?
The dude's weird. He has a bird. Exactly.
Well, it's a pleasure to know that you'll be accompanying us, especially considering this is going to be very dangerous.
Yes, I am quite distracted. I am sorry. You can see he's rummaging through like dozens and dozens of pockets on the inside of his coat. I don't know which one it's in. I don't remember.
What are you looking for?
Something to help. He reaches into a pocket and he pulls out, he's like, aha, I've found it. And he pulls out with his mechanical hand this like small blue sphere and he sets it down on the table. And immediately the room feels cooler. Like significantly cooler.
God.
I knew I had it. Why it's in the coat, I don't know. But it's there.
Oh my God. Bashaba, this is the best thing.
No, you keep your Lady of Misfortune out of my workshop. Thank you. Greywing, make a note. No one can thank Bashaba in the workshop.
Just in the workshop? Alright.
I don't care if you do it elsewhere, just not here. There's delicate experiments going on, and he throws his arms up in the air.
No doors, no roof, no hospitality. Interesting. Well,
I assume you require healing? None of you look very... Oh, well, you do, I suppose. You... Anna, I think you said your name was?
yes.
Greywing, make another note. Remember their names.
Jesus Christ. How much paper does this guy have? The notes are so useless.
I am loaded. I am beyond rich. I have sold my goods everywhere, and I decided to live here for some reason.
I see.
No, you don't, and he slams the table.
I mean, I'm visually seeing what you mean. This is not cheap equipment.
No, it's not, and I built it all by myself, by hand.
That's amazing.
Well, this hand, and he holds up his actual hand. This one isn't mine.
What happened to your other hand?
I blew it off a long time ago when I was young and stupid. You see, I don't cast spells like you do because I can't. I'm incapable of spellcasting. So I make alchemy do it for me. Like a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and suddenly you have a scorching ray. It's just how it works.
Huh. That's
It's
pretty
also
fancy.
very dangerous, and I blew my arm off and blew up half my home with it.
Wow, my eyes are gonna widen.
I'm very foolish. Don't make a note of that.
Greywing, make a note of that.
Greywing looks at you and his eyes narrow and they turn red.
Oh. Greywing, never mind.
He is a liar. He will not hurt you. He will heal you and or make you float. Greywing, make that dude float. Greywing kind of hops over to him, and then from his hand, you see like this little needle stick out, like in between his two front feet and his back foot, and he kind of like just stabs Barst, and Barst is like, ah, and then he begins to float up 10 feet every 6 seconds. Help! A bird!
Does he ever stop? Or does it just keep going up?
I don't know what the time is. I think it's a minute.
Levitation lasts for, I believe, 10 minutes, and you float 20 feet above.
Is not that.
Oh, then I have no idea what anti-gravity or something?
I'm looking. It's called buoyancy. I don't know how long it lasts.
Oh, I've never heard of that spell.
I don't have easy access to it, but yes, he floats for a little bit and then he comes crashing back down. Greywing, remind me to fix this fucking chair. Goddamn. Okay.
I love this man.
I am completely distracted. I am having too much fun making notes and explaining things. You require probably some potions.
Potentially, yeah.
I think the only healer here is you, and maybe the one in the heavy armor. She looks kind of holy. Chalet is like, yes, I am slightly holy. I am a cleric. Yes, of course, you and your fancy divine whatever the fuck. Ah, potions. He rummages around in his pockets again, pulls out 2 greater healing potions. Puts them down. Have these as well, I guess. They don't cost me anything to make. I grow everything here. Make a perception check.
4.
Yeah, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. Well, anything more than him. Okay. Is there anything else you think that we could use?
I'm not sure. Maybe this will be fine? Yeah, all of this just seems way out of my field. If we were trying to ascertain any kind of knowledge, that would be different, but I just don't see anything of use here.
I understand. My lab is a mess. I am sorry. Greywing, take a note. I must clean the lab. What about you, my large friend who broke the chair? Barris is like, well, what about me? I broke your chair after your bird stabbed me. Oh yes, of course, but do you need anything? What about your sword? It looks... You don't have a sword. Where's your weapon? It's around. Fair enough. You, cleric woman. Show me your... What does she use?
Mace.
Give me that mace. I don't care. Give me the mace. She puts it down on the table. Thank you. He holds out his hand, his actual hand, and like traces his index finger along like the handle of the mace. And you can see he leaves like this semi-transparent, very pale blue shine behind. And you can see after he's done, he kind of shakes his hand off. And the mace is glowing. You now have a very, very, very good mace. Enchanted by me. Until I die. Or, I've stop enchanting it.
Are you able to do that to multiple weapons?
Uh, uh, 5 at a time.
Could you do it to this dagger? And I'm going to pull out the +2 stabby dagger.
I could. He puts his goggles on and looks at it. It already looks pretty good, but I can make it better. Does
Sure.
the same thing. Turns the +2 stabby dagger into a +3.
Oh, wow. Do you want to do it to this other dagger? And I'm going to pull out the normal dagger that we have.
I could, I suppose. He thinks. I don't. Greywing, check the notes. Is there anything that I have already? The bird flips through, like, way too many pieces of paper. Reads. Turns to him and shakes its head no. Very well. And he enchants the other dagger as well to a +3.
Jester, you have 2 very good stabby daggers now.
Oh, the gnome is good.
This is far beyond what we... I think that we should be fine.
Do you require anything? You don't look like you use a stabby.
No, I'm built in the arcane.
Let me see. He, Greywing flies over and scoops him up by the shoulders, and he begins to, like, fly up, checking, like, these extremely tall shelves that have no reason being that tall. Let's see here. Something that you could use that will benefit you.
Potentially something that might be able to make my spells more potent, or, more potent would be the most beneficial, I would imagine.
Potent, you say? In what regard?
Making it more difficult to, I don't know, resist it, or it being more painful, or easier to accomplish its goal.
Let me see. He rummages around for a bit, and eventually he's like, "Aha, I found it! Put me down!" He flies back down. Great! And he hands you this simple copper ring.
Oh. And what is this?
It's enchanted. Actually enchanted. I made this as well, but it's an actual thing.
Oh. I will don on the ring.
You probably don't have to attune to it. He scratches his mustache. I'm pretty sure you don't. I've never used it because I can't, but yeah.
I'll just cast Identify on it then.
It is a ring of improved spell.
Oh.
Gives you +1 on your spell attack modifier, and +1 on your spell save DC.
Oh, that's really good. Thank you. This is far... Wow, this is great. I can almost feel it. My spells being potent. I'm just going to have a sacred flame go off in my hand.
God, holy magics. I prefer quasi-arcane myself. Yes.
I'm just more attuned with it. From my lady, I will follow your rules and your notes.
Greywing, make a note. This woman is insane. I have nothing else for any of you. This other woman with the book, I assume you're also arcane. I don't have another ring. It would take me quite a lot of money to make another one. I have these, and from underneath the table in front of you he pulls out a pair of gloves.
This dude is putting things in various places.
Nothing is organized. I told you I must organize the lab.
Anna is feeling fucking claustrophobic in this place. Nothing is organized. I'm sweating. Ugh.
Are you going to be ill? If you're going to be ill, make sure to do it in the plant, as it will be incinerated at a later date.
I'll be fine. It's probably just the ring getting to me.
That's not what that does. Don't lie to me. So yes, he hands her these gloves, and she's like, "What do these do?" They are gloves of missile catching.
Oh, you can
Ah,
catch things.
I, I can, I guess. And she puts them on. Okay. Yes, yes. I have nothing else for any of you. You have exhausted my supply.
Well, these are also just lent for now, so thank you. But we should head off to the gate now. I think we're fully equipped. As
Yes,
much as we're going to be, at least.
that would be a good idea.
I agree.
Greywing, come with me. You can see Greywing lands on his shoulder. Big ass bird, almost as big as him.
Oh, it's that big?
It's
I was imagining a small raven figurine.
it's the size of an eagle.
Oh my god.
He's little.
I get that he's little, but that's still a big bird.
It's a big bird, but
It's a
judging
big robotic bird.
by how he doesn't seem to like have to change his posture with the bird on his shoulder, you assume it's pretty light. Like it is made of metal, but it can also
So
fly. So
it's probably made of like some kind of mithril or has some kind of enchantment on it.
maybe it looks like simple steel, but there must be something more to it.
I'm not gonna question it. I don't know how a mech is gonna be made like this mechanism. I'm gonna let that go by, as I am not one to try to make something like that. All right.
The five of you.
Yes.
Yes. It's far too many.
Just a random question. Do you have a character sheet for?
I do, but it's not at our level.
I see.
Might be an issue. I will have one whipped up for next time.
Okay. We should also fully commit to making a stat page for Barst, Chalet, and Eris.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. Considering two of them are spellcasters. Barst is Barst, and he's gonna do swingy things, but we kind of need a spells prepared page.
Yeah, that would be a big help.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes, as you make your way up out of the tower, Corwin kind of leads the way because you don't know where you're going. He kind of just looks around, doesn't stop and talk with anybody. Kind of lets out a harumph as he sees some of the apprentices doing fuck all. I swear, fuck them. Leads you out into the city itself. It is, well, you assume it to be hot, but it is not hot because you have that sphere with you.
Mm-hmm.
It is, architectural style. Go. It appears to be made of like sandstone, maybe, like a pale stone. Very nice. Very pretty city. Not very big compared to others you've been to, but it's walled. It's kind of unremarkable, to be completely honest. As you pass into the city, two guardsmen kind of run up to you. Stop, please.
Can I help you?
Yes, we see you were with Master Corwin, and that is completely fine. Quite honestly, he scares me. Just a little bit.
Rather
but
rude.
yes.
He's standing right over there.
Yes, I heard that. Greywing, make a note. And the guard kind of just slowly turns back to face you. The Sultan has requested that one of your allies remain here to begin work on the plans to move the arch from here to Waterdeep. He did not care who, he just said that one of them must remain.
Eris? Would that be okay with you? You are much more built for the arcane arts than...
Yes, I it's no problem at all. I can go assist.
I'll just send myself and be like, all right, we're going to stay here.
Peace. Have fun out there.
Yes, and this way, you might be able to find ways of still communicating with us in the future anyways.
Well, if she needs to talk to us, and he rummages in his coat again, and he pulls out a sending stone, she can just use this, and, probably get a hold of one of us. I have the other one here. And he shakes it.
Well, there we go. You'll still be in contact with us, and we'll still be in contact with you.
Yes, he gets quiet and just shuts up. Well, I mean, as long as you don't go and get killed, I'll be able to contact you.
We'll be okay. I know that it's gonna be rough, but you are also the most level-headed out of the other two. And as I look at Barst and Chalet,
they both cross their arms
done.
and look away. I don't know what you're talking
about.
Done. I trust your judgment, and thank you.
I'm gonna give her a hug.
She gives you a hug.
Stay safe.
I will.
Stay cold as much as you can.
I mean,
hide inside
I feel
of his
like
room.
Once I move far enough away from this, it's going to get really, really hot again, and I'm going to be sad.
Yeah. Like I said, do what you can. Make sure you're hydrated.
Make sure have water.
Okay.
I'll be fine. Worry about yourselves. You are going into dangerous territory. I will be here, drinking water and talking plans.
Okay. Maybe discuss about way of transportation, and potentially even if they're willing to send a few troops to help aid us in our defense. Any arcane spellcasters would be fantastic forms of defense. They might be able to set up a barrier or prepare the city for the worst.
Yes, I agree. It's been a long time since I've been to Waterdeep. I do believe I will also come with, even if you don't want me to. Greywing, make a note.
That's good. We are forcibly going to Waterdeep.
Great.
Well, Corwin, thank you for your aid.
Yes. You are welcome. I haven't talked to people this much in a very long time. I'm sorry.
That's alright. I can give you a puzzle to kind of try to meld around with to see if it'll distract you.
What kind of puzzle are you giving them?
What I'm gonna do, just for the fucking shits and giggle. Hey Jester, can I get that knowledge on Thieves' Cant by any chance?
Go for it, I guess.
Okay. So with that knowledge, what I'm gonna do is
You're making your stupid fucking bullshit cipher, are you not?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write in Thieves' Cant. However, what I'm gonna do is use my linguist feat to make it in a coded language of Thieves' Cant, and then I'm gonna cast Ritual Cast Illusory Script on it to make it look like I've written it in Thieves' Cant in a different language.
Okay, so you do that.
Here's this. Try to decipher it.
Okay. This will be a investigation check, would you say?
I believe it is just a intelligence check.
Straight intelligence check?
Either way. Because my book is away from me. I guess I gotta get my book anyways, because feats are apparently blocked from the internet. It's fine, I just gotta get my player's handbook out, it's easy. It's just I'm lazy. I didn't want to have to lean over to pick up my book. It's just an intelligence check.
Just a straight intelligence check
And that's for
against
the
your
linguist part.
against
For
your
the
DC
illusory,
for
my DC is intelligence plus my proficiency, so it's 16 or 15.
15.
But for illusory script, it you and creatures you designate when you cast a spell, the writing appears normal, written in your hand, and conveys whatever meaning you intended when you wrote the text. To all others, the writing appears as if it were written in an unknown or magical script that is unintelligible. They just can't read it unless dispelled.
Great. He looks at it. This makes absolutely no sense. This is a very good cipher. I might have to employ this. Greywing, make a note. You can see that he is exceptionally sharp. Like, he's just on point all the time.
Well, I hope you enjoy that.
I will not be able to solve this, as I can't read whatever the fuck language this is to begin with. There's something magical about this. I saw you cast something on it, and I don't know what this stain is.
The stain. Well, that's fine. In 10 days, you'll be able to try to read it again. So you can keep that as a memento.
Thanks. He folds it up into like a teeny tiny little square and puts it in a pocket.
You can only fold a piece of paper 7 times. Or is it 9 times?
He has robotic hand. He can crush it, make it very thin.
Haven't you seen the Mythbusters do that?
No, I have.
They got like a ridiculously long piece of paper, and they had to get a fucking steamroller to push it down. It was insane.
But yes, he takes the note and puts it in his pocket.
Good. Now let's go get a horse and potentially a cart so that we can travel during the night if we need to.
You think we travel by foot here? Or at least I travel by foot here? Wait. No, we don't. Greywing, check the notes. Where did I leave it? Pulls out this little piece of paper and he gives it to Corwin. Corwin reads it. Ah, yes, of course. Puts it into the same pocket as the note you gave him. I have, yes, an airship. It's not very big. I use it because it's just me and my bird. But it should be big enough for the 4 of us.
Oh, wow.
It's not very impressive. It's small.
I mean, I've never ridden an airship. I haven't even seen one up close.
Well, good. Have you met the man who does the speedy boats?
I have.
He is an ex-student of mine. He was very brilliant, and he was also quite the fool. Wait.
He was the one that reminded me of you.
Ah,
yes.
Or
that you reminded me of.
The inventor of fast travel. Brilliant mind. There was another one, a tiefling man.
A tiefling man who's in the 9 hells.
Is that where he ended up? Oh my. Oh no.
He's fine. He's enjoying his time as he's been there for years.
He used to say that here. He was quite cracked. He was quite the fool.
How old is this man? He's been everywhere for years.
Well, he came to us at 17, I want to say. I didn't take a note. I didn't take a note. Sorry. He was here for 4 years, and he had a teleportation circle, and he did something wrong, and we all thought he blew himself up. And, well, apparently he didn't. He's in hell.
Or he did, and he's in hell.
In fact, he gets really close to you, like uncomfortably close. There's something fishy about you, and I can feel it. I can sense it. What do you have?
I've traveled to the 9 hells?
Well, obviously. But what else? There's something else.
You'll see in a little bit.
Gonna make an intelligence check. That's a 24.
That'd be an intelligence or an insight?
Either way, it's gonna be high as fuck, I think. No, his wisdom isn't great. That is 21.
Okay, let's roll my shitty fucking deception of only +4. 14?
14. Yes, you have something from him. I know it.
Oh!
Yes.
That's what you were talking about. Yes, I have this, and I'm gonna put down the fucking thunder barrel.
Good lord.
I have this.
No, this is not it at all. It's on you, not in the bag.
Oh,
what is this?
This is something that he gave me. I'm gonna stuff
Good
that back in the
lord.
bag of holding.
How do you keep that in there?
Oh, you're talking about these, and I flap out the wings.
There's like this moment where he's just like so excited. He's so fucking pumped. I knew it. I knew it. He finally did it. He finally made wings. Impressive.
He also wanted to talk about taking away an arm and a leg. At the time, I declined. And I'm somewhat pleased with that decision.
Well, he looks at his robotic arm. It might be to replace this one. He was odd. Yes, the leg I don't know.
Yes, he took out the arms of, he did a lot of things to a lot of things.
Good lord,
so let's
that's
move
disgusting.
On.
Yes, I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Let's get onto this airship and travel towards the mountains.
Yes. He goes back into the palace. It's this way.
Okay, I'll follow him. We'll get Barst and Chalet.
They are confused. They look at you and they're like, "Are you sure we can trust this gnome?"
I have no idea. Don't say it like that. We've met plenty of gnomes, and some of them have been fine.
Name one gnome who's been fine.
That shopkeeper was nice. The one that was trying to sell us clothes. Oh, but you wouldn't know him. Or would you know him? No, you wouldn't. You weren't there for that. There was a nice shopkeeper that Jester stole from.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
I'm sure the people whose house we broke into was also pretty nice.
What?
Where do you think we got these
angry.
Where do you think we got these gnomish clothes?
Why do you have gnomish clothes?
I don't know. Jester did a lot. Let's get on this airship. He seems kind. I mean, to be fair, he did just enchant a bunch of things. Give us a sending stone that we can still communicate with Eris with. Give me an enchanted ring. He's done a lot for us. He's already a lot better than most other gnomes that we've met. I also should say that there was a nice gnomish man who unfortunately passed away inside the Nine Hells.
Chalet gives you this look of like utter befuddlement.
We met a lot of gnomes that you don't know.
And it sounds like most of them are dead or robbed. Well, this one. I've only seen this one.
To be fair, you would be correct, and most of the gnomes that we know have either been robbed or murdered. But not by us for the most cases. We haven't killed any gnomes.
Jester never speaks highly of the gnomes, and I just assumed that they were all bad. Look at him, he's so little and suspicious. You can see Greywing's head just rotates 180 degrees and looks at the three of you.
Let's just get on the airship. We'll talk about this later. I'm gonna try to retain concentration for just this one. I want to at least get on this fucking airship. That's a fucking 2.
That's a 10.
Oh my god. Spent an hour in the city. Spent 30 minutes talking to this dude.
Dude.
You're a fucking maniac. I'm imagining now that these triplets are just your psyche. The different elements of what you imagine you can make.
To be completely honest, the fast travel dude and I've been here for years had no connection to this guy at all.
You just made that up on a spot.
In fact, I'm pretty sure they came before he did.
You based Corwin off them. You
No,
came
I
up with
didn't even do
Corwin
that.
like you came up with Corwin like 2 weeks ago.
No. Well, I've also had those two on the back burner for a long time.
Okay,
Well, at
I
least
was gonna
at
say
least the
it.
personalities, not a fast
Not what
travel.
they were.
No.
Gotcha.
Corwin is my favorite. He is my favorite character they've ever made. He is
Oh my
outstanding.
dude, you have literally no idea how similar this is to something in Critical Role. It's hilarious that you have no idea.
I'll take your word for it.
It's I know I'm not gonna spoil it. It's just super funny. Oh lordy.
Now you get to clean up this mess. How'd you like that hour of
Yeah,
stalling?
yeah, I fucking noticed. Oh, what am I gonna do? I don't even know what I'm gonna do for the fucking siege crap. All right. Okay. Whew. I am ready.
Okay.
So, Jester,
Gnomes.
you feel this unbridled hatred towards your racist endeavors, and
I'm not racist. They're all terrible.
speciest. You get dragged through, and when you come to consciousness, your body is slightly cool due to the energy from the orb that the gnomish man is. You're also feeling a lot more embodied by this magical ring that's now on your finger.
The
And
fuck is this?
you feel like this casting potential from you. Like your arcane prowess, though being lesser than Anna's, is still stronger in itself. You can also feel the stabby dagger in your hand that he had grabbed before, feeling stronger. You grab the other one, and it's way stronger than its basic, tiny self.
This gnome might be okay. I throw up a little bit.
As you do, and it's just enough that you can keep it back. You hear, "Come now, the airship is this way."
Uh, Airship? I turned to Chalet. I was busy unorganizing.
You hear in the back of your mind, "Damn it, Jester.
You'll never find half the books.
I'll have to remake the books. I keep them by memory.
You're weird.
I've read them tons of times."
What?
But anyways, the two of them look at you, quickly realizing and gathering that it's Jester, as you have somehow become more limber in your posture. The two of them look at you. We're going onto an airship to travel to the mountainside. I was going partially into Eris format there.
That sounds okay. Sure. We've been on a boat that goes very fast. Why not a boat that can fly? Complete the holy trinity of boats, and I make a triangle with my fingers.
Barst leans in. We've been on a lot of boats. I'm not exactly sure I like this too much, but at least it's not the water.
Yeah. At least if we, get into an accident up in the sky, we just crash and die.
He looks forwards in sudden realization.
Well, I mean, it's either that or we drown or we explode at high speeds. So,
Boats don't explode naturally.
I mean, that one might have. Did you see how fast it went?
Point taken. Let's get a move on before we waste more time. And
I
he
don't.
steps forwards towards the gnome.
I just follow.
Okay. Following Corwin, he steps towards his laboratory again. And this time he goes up the stairs instead of down. Traveling up the stairs, you see his small living quarters, which is oddly very clean. In comparison to the rest of the place, this is organized. The bed is made. There's a small mirror. It's also very simplistic. There's not a whole lot of personality put into this bedroom. And you can see a small set of stairs that continue to go up. He ignores the room completely, goes up the stairs, and as he does, you can hear like a door almost opening. Following him up the stairs, he seems to have made an awning up at the ceiling. Up there is this very small platform that is open to the full air. And there's a square symbol etched into the ground that has several markings on the sides.
What, what's this?
This is the airship.
Okay.
He pulls out from he's like rummaging through his pockets. Where is it? No, not there. Pulls out the pieces of paper. No, those are what I want you to keep, especially from you. He snaps his fingers at you. Greywing, where's the cube? Greywing, pulls out a small. He flies down the door. After a few moments, comes back and is clutching what looks to be a very small, translucent blue, kind of gemstone of a cube, and puts it into his hand. Thank you, Greywing. Make a note. Keep this more accessible. Pops off a finger, starts to write on some papers. And Corwin puts down the cube into the center of this cube. And in that moment, you can see the lines from this cube begin to fold upwards and take in the cube. And this small boat starts to emanate from the ceiling almost, or the ground that it's on. And it forms into a pretty interesting device. It's rather small, but if you sit tightly and kind of brace yourselves, it looks like it would go pretty fast in the air.
This looks completely unsafe, and I love it.
Well, it was designed for two people. I don't exactly know what else you wanted me to do about it.
I turn to the other two, and I shake the bag.
I don't think we'll need that. He did say that we'll be able to fit on it with the four of us. It'll just be a little bit more precarious, I guess.
Fine. Just trying to be space efficient.
Trying to stay life efficient. We've been in that bag more than we've been outside of the bag.
Not by my choice.
Not by ours either.
It was all
Well, are we
Anna.
going to get going?
That's what I'm saying. Yes, I get in the boat.
Greywin, make a note. Don't enter the bag.
But no, that's probably a good idea. I don't know what she keeps in there.
So,
I'm pretty sure there's bodies. But yes, it's
so
time
you're
to get
sitting
going.
on this boat. The boat itself is probably it's 10 feet wide, and it's kind of about 30 feet long. So it's not necessarily small, but it's definitely not the size of a normal ship.
Like
There's
a rowboat size kind of.
kind of like a rowboat / sailboat size, except longer and a little bit wider.
I see.
More like a basic sailboat, except without a sail.
Weird.
He sits on the far back of it, and he puts a hand out, and this small translucent cube forms again, and he puts it down at the back of it, and when he does, that begins to meld outwards into forming what looks to be several shape sails that just form in the back rather than being up. All right, I think we're ready to go. Everyone, prepare to fly. And he presses his hand onto it, the metallic hand. You can see some of like the energy from his hand going onto it, and it begins to lift.
Anna, I really don't like this. We're gonna die.
Just don't look down. We can fly. In actuality, we can fly.
All right. I forgot.
After getting a good about 300, 400 feet above the city, you start to coast forwards, and your coasting begins to get faster and faster until you are easily going probably about 120 feet in a very consistent pace.
Nice.
So you're traveling very quickly in comparison to horseback. You are doubling the pace of horseback, but also quadrupling the pace of walking.
Hell yeah.
The breeze, after traveling beyond this dome of invisible magic, you can see the crystal behind you that's just dangling above the city is very slowly but carefully just forming that barrier. Once you cross that barrier, the heat from the city seems to cool off very rapidly. Even though that the cooling orb is near you, you can still feel that presence of the heat that just wasn't bothering you. But after passing that barrier, the heat itself seems to have diminished, and you're now in more of a cooling atmosphere, and fresh sea air. It's actually kind of damp from the sea breeze.
Corwin?
Yes?
When did the city start getting hot?
I don't know. I don't really leave my laboratory, so I made this.
I see.
This cooling rock because I had a fever one day. Wanted to feel a little bit colder, so I'm not necessarily sure when it did.
I see. Okay.
Was it hot?
Yeah. Very.
Huh. Didn't notice. So, as you're coasting in the air, you're making progress towards the closer of the mountains, which was the larger one, right?
No, the smaller ones.
The smaller one. Approaching that, you can see below you that there is an expanse of dirt, gravel, and sand, it looks like. Traveling beyond further away from that, you can see trees a lot further to the east and the south, but going more northwestern, you can tell that you're heading more towards mountain terrain. So the ground itself is kind of accommodated with that, with sand as well as gravel and dirt in some cases. Going across this for probably about, in total for travel, about 4 hours, you're approaching the base of the mountain at a lot faster pace. It's getting larger and larger as you're approaching the smaller mountain, and eventually Corwin stops it, places his hand onto the small sails. The sails themselves look almost like straps of parchment, and they bend slightly, and you start to fall slowly down.
This is incredible. Nice. Nicely done.
Took a while to make. Took a lot of trial and error. Almost lost my other hand.
That would be unfortunate.
Well, we never did develop a very good landing brake mechanism, but...
Wait, what do you mean?
And in that moment, you collide with the ground at a slightly faster than you would want pace. Not enough to hurt you, but definitely something that might give you whiplash if you did it several times in this period of time. And everyone's just, ow.
I don't. Oh. I kind of just roll out of the boat.
In that moment, he places his hand up, and the small translucent cube forms there. And then he gets off, and the boat just kind of like morphs into the cube, making it a little bit bigger. And he tucks that away.
I lay there and just...
He doesn't seem fazed by the collision either.
Gnomes. Pick it up, dust myself off. Alright, team. We weren't really given anywhere specific, just around here somewhere. I guess make a perception check to see if I can spot any caves or any abnormalities in the wilderness.
Okay. Let me give you a premise of like where you're kind of standing. So you're not on the mountain, you're at the base of it. So if you went up the mountain, it's at a very slow pace. It kind of gets a little steeper, but it looks more shallow than anything not. It's almost like a rocky hill than a mountain. There are jagged portions of it that have several peaks to them, but it almost looks more like an indentation into a rock. Like it's got that kind of design where there's the 5 prongs on the sides, and those go upwards, and there's like a crevice in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You've been traveling across what seems to be what could be considered a desert. It has sand directly behind you, but as it's getting closer to the mountain, you can tell that it's turning more into more gravel. And in certain bits and pieces of it, you can tell that there's like white shards of possibly glass. You're not too sure.
That's odd.
Make a perception check.
That's pretty good. Perception. 19.
19. So as you are keeping general glances out, you're not necessarily finding any evidence of creatures, but what you are sensing is when you put your hand down to like feel this kind of glassy texture, it's definitely not painful. It's more like just brittle sand that kind of crushes away. It is definitely solidified and like heated up sand, so it has that glassy texture. But when you place your hand on the rock is warm. Abnormally warm.
Corwin, are these mountains volcanic?
Well, I don't leave my home very often. Possibly? Possibly not. Greywing, make a note. Mountains are possibly volcanoes.
I shake my head and go back to the investigation.
Yeah,
this is just a rock, correct?
It's part of the mountain, so it's like rocks that are going up to the mountain. And
I see. It's kind of like
it's like a base.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're touching the mountainside.
I guess
you don't see any caves or anything on the outside of this.
Is it unpleasantly warm?
It's not because of that cooling stone, but you get the feeling that if you weren't near that, it might potentially burn.
That's not good. Bars, do you know anything about hot rocks? Or chalet even?
Oh wow, Barst. Poor chalet. Opposite ends. Barst looks at it. You know, it would take a lot to perfectly heat up a rock. to that kind of texture. It's potentially singeing, yeah. If
Real-
it's that
real hot.
if it's that warm, then I mean, I'm not very well versed in magic, but potentially there could be some kind of heat source on the inside, or it's an enchanted rock, but that would take a lot. Heated rocks like this would need some kind of molten substance to get to that kind of temperature and not physically melt themselves. That might be why some of the sand is turning to glass.
Might be, but also explain the heat.
When you look over at Chalet, she is spitting on the rocks, and they're kind of like sizzling and becoming, and just kind of like doing that thing where you put a droplet of water on oil, and you see the water itself bouncing across the oil.
Can I help you? Are you... What?
Sorry, I'm bored. I got bored. Sorry, what?
What?
Did you want me to do something?
Stop.
I mean, that's kind of useful, right? And she just spits again at the rocks. She got a natural one. She got a natural.
Oh my lord.
Bart's got a natural 19. So.
Why can't you be like him? I pointed Barst.
Sorry, I'm not a gemologist, and I had tons of years to just research rocks. Barst looks at her. You think I had time to research rocks?
Well, to be fair, you are very old, but that's... No. We're stopping this conversation here. I'm like,
You look over at Corwin, who's kind of there, just looking at the rock, looking at the glass, looking at you three, kind of arguing. Then he looks over at Greywing. Greywing, scratch that note about the mountain potentially being a volcano.
Uh-oh.
And Greywing just kind of cuts off the piece of paper there.
What do you know?
Oh no, I don't know anything. I was just...
What?
Based off what you're saying. Based off what you were saying, it sounds more like there's just lava inside of it, or some kind of molten substance inside of it.
I see.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's a volcano.
I stop and I turn back to Chalet. A gemologist, really?
What? They exist.
I shook
think.
my head.
We didn't have any gemologists in the Shadowfell.
Can I make an intelligence check to see if I actually know what they're called? Like, I know
Go
what they
ahead.
are, but I don't think Jester does.
Look,
That's
I
a
don't
5.
think I don't think Tyler knows what they are. So.
Wouldn't it just be a
What are-
geologist?
Not necessarily. There's a gemologist. That's a thing.
I don't believe you for good cause.
I'm certain it's real. Yeah, gemologist is real. There's gemology is
No.
real. Yeah.
No. I've gone too deep.
Gemology gemology or gemology is the science dealing with natural and artificial gemstone materials.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I have embodied Jester to the point where it's affecting my own mind.
What's the difference between a geologist? Oh. Basically, gemology is just a subclass
Subtype
of
of
geology.
I see.
Yeah, pretty much. Because yeah, they delve in solid, liquid, and gaseous matter,
I see.
and as well as the processes that shape them. So,
Very good.
anyways, we got off on a tangent again. So as you guys are kind of contemplating whether or not gemology fits geology, you are feeling like kind of warm. Even in the presence of that cooler temperature, you're feeling slightly warm.
We should back up from this. It's getting hot.
As you are feeling that heat emanating from it, you look around and there seems to be more of the sand turning to glass.
Oh, fuck.
And in that moment, you see rising from the sand just about 5 of these entities that have scarred, masked faces, as well as stretched back skin and a horrible visage.
I don't like.
Roll initiative.
Chalet, look what you did. Your gemology talk woke them.
We're not about gemology, it's geology and the science associated with it.
I told you! They study the rocks.
They study the rocks.
That's a natural 20.
Hey, oh, that dice is cocked. Oh, hey, nice one, Chalet. Hey, nice one, Barst. Corwin, come on now. Oh, wow. Okay, so the order of operations here goes you, Barst, Chalet, Corwin, and then them. They rolled a natural 1.
Great.
And Corwin rolled a 4. So you see these 4 entities emerge from the sand. They're not necessarily directly in front of you, but one of them is standing next to Chalet. One is directly behind that one, about 5 or 10 feet away. To your left, you see the other 2 emerge, and they're about 10 feet away from both Barst and Corwin.
I see. Well, there's only one target for me. I run to the one that's next to Chalet.
Okay, you run up next to it.
I have advantage because an ally is beside it.
Yeah.
So sneak attack.
Is that how it works, or is it that you get sneak attack when an ally is next to it? You would get an advantage if you are flanking. I mean, you can still flank it. You'll just be putting yourself between this one and the other one.
I mean, I might as well if this isn't allowed to do that.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Sneak attack once per turn. Blah 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 blah. You don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy is within 5 feet of the target. So yeah, I can just stand beside Chalet and just stab it.
Yeah, you'll trigger it. It just won't have advantage.
That's fine.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Yes, +3 super stabby dagger.
Mm-hmm. Are you using your offhand to attack it as well?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
go ahead and roll to attack.
But I won't. I got to do the math here. Give me a second.
It's a +3 plus all of your other things.
+3 +6. So +9. So
yeah,
that's 14.
14 hits.
Okay.
Roll your damage. It's still midday, so the sun is brightly out, so...
That's fine. I've never got to use the super stabby dark dagger before, to its full extent.
No, not yet.
That's not bad. 9, 10, plus my dex, +3. 15. 15 points of piercing damage.
Okay, as you bring it in and cut at it, you can see that when you pull it out, sand just starts to pour out of where he's punctured. It just looks at you, just...
Gross.
You have some movement and a bonus action left. You have about 20 feet of movement.
I will run away.
Okay, because of your mobile feat, it doesn't get an attack of opportunity.
No, sir.
And are you running full 20 feet away from everyone, or are you just...
I'll run... I suppose it doesn't really matter. I'll just run 20 feet away.
Okay, yeah, you run 20 feet away. Barst just, like, brings out his arm, and the blade emerges out from him, just... And you can hear Corwin, "That's where your weapon was. Greywing, make a note." And in that moment, Barst just swings twice at the one that's directly in front of him. With natural 18, that'll hit. With another natural 18, that will also hit. Long sword with two-handed. That's 2. That's 8, so 10 plus 2, so that's 14 plus his strength, which is 8. That's... Okay, so 18, and then 2d4 for radiant damage. That's 21 points of damage from the 2 swings. Just, and both cuts go deep in, and you see this like pulse of radiant energy, and it almost looks like it's wounding this creature even further, deepening into it. And as he pulls out the second time, sand just begins to pour out, except that this time, because of the heat from that's radiating off this blade, some of it's coming out as like white pieces of glass almost, and just pouring out, and still looks like it's standing. Chalet, now that you have attacked the one behind her, brings out her mace and just clubs him against the head with a natural 20.
Oh.
So D8. 4 plus 3 plus her strength. That's 7. 10 points of bludgeoning damages. This time she brings it forwards and it clubs him straight across the head, and just the head just kind of cracks in and sand pours out, and his body crumples into more sand, just falls to the ground. Just
nice teamwork, I yell from 20 feet away.
Corwin's turn. Corwin, seeing the entity in front of him. I see. This is important for research. Greywing, before you make a note, attack. And Greywing just leaps off of his arm and lunges at the creature, making 2 attacks. That one will hit with a 16. That one will barely hit with a 13. And these 2 talons just cut into him, being mechanically enchanted themselves. 2d4 per talon. The first one is a total of 10, because it's 8 plus 2. Second attack. Oh my god, this d4 is so good. It hasn't rolled less than a 4. So 20 points of damage as this bird cuts across these thick talons, and they just pour out sand. And in its speed, it flaps its wings and just lands back at Corwin's arm without invoking an attack of opportunity due to its speed. And Corwin takes your advice and backs away. He's standing next to you now.
Oh, hi.
The creature's turns. The one that's standing next to Barst is going to bring out a hand and comes crushing down it twice. Just first attack. That's going to miss with a 9. Second attack. What's Barst's AC? Probably higher than 15, right?
Probably 16.
Yeah, I would imagine, because he's probably wearing medium armor plus 2 for his dex.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably wearing like scale mail. Okay, so that will miss both attacks. The other one is going to plant a hand, just slowly like comes down, picks up some of the sand, and you can see this energy coalesce around it, and you can see it kind of pick up some of the sand, and in that moment patching itself, and you can see some of the sand is emanating over the body, and the wounds are healing over. You can see the wound completely heal as it puts its hand over it. This is the one that the talons cut across.
Not good.
The one that's over by Chalet runs over and plants 2 hands onto her, or tries to at least with its first attack. That will hit with a 19. Excuse me. So he grapples onto her, and in that moment, sand begins to like pour out from him in like a vicious manner, just and they jag it out. She has to make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage because she is grappled. Oh, Chalet. Ooh. She's going to fail with a 10. You can see the jutting out sand particles that become solid puncture in several portions of the armor just doesn't cover. Though being weak, they hit the metal themselves in some cases and just kind of break apart, fall off. But they're sharp enough to just kind of do nicks and cuts across her body as she takes 3d6 damage. She takes 15 points of piercing damage as the sand just gets her in critical portions of her body. It is the top of the initiative order. It's your turn.
Okay, I run up to the one that's attacking Chalet, and I get behind it for the ultimate attack.
Right. Easy enough. You have, like, what, 50 feet of movement?
40.
Okay, easily enough. You have plenty of movement to do this.
Get behind it for that sweet flanking advantage.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to attack.
That is 24 to hit.
Okay, that's going to hit.
Oh, I just go to make sure. Damage. Like someone does. Will a 25 beat your 13 AC?
Look, I have to ask. Can't just be like, yeah, that's gonna hit. I'm gonna ask. And to be fair, he had 15 for AC because of Shield of Faith.
That is, ignoring you, 20 points of piercing damage.
Ooh, alright. So in this moment, you see her as she's kind of grappled on, and you just slice upwards, cutting across his back, and in that point, sand begins to pour out in a vicious volume. Just you have a bonus action and about 15 feet of movement left.
I guess with the trusty other knife, I will stab it.
Okay, make another attack with another +3 dagger.
I do not count my proficiency for offhand attacks, correct?
You do. You just don't add that. You just don't add your dex for damage. So it's still a +9 to hit. It's just that you don't deal. You just do the D4 plus the +3.
I see. That is 16 to hit.
16 hits. Go ahead and roll your D4 +3.
Whoop. 5 points of piercing damage.
All right, 5 points as the sand's kind of cascading out of its back. It just looks at you, and you plunge the opposing dagger into its neck and yank out. In that moment, it just topples over, letting go of Chalet. As you can see, blood is kind of being covered with sand, and it looks agony. Looks like agony.
You okay?
That really fucking hurts. It's like rubbing the wound with sand.
You know what
it does not feel
sand?
good.
It's rough, it's coarse, and it gets everywhere. And then I run away. I run my 15 feet back towards Corwin.
Okay. You leave her stunned in place. Is that a joke on bathing? Swimming? What? I'm confused. And that is your turn. Barst's turn. Barst, turning to look at the other one that just patched itself, is going to run up and just slash at it twice. First is going to hit. Second one is also going to hit. So 2d10, 2d4. I just roll both at the same time. That first one does 8 plus 2 plus 3, 10. 13 plus his strength of plus 3. 16 points of damage on the first attack. Ooh. So you see him bring down the blade as it patches itself up, cut off the hands, and immediately just follow it with another side swipe and cut straight across the waist, and it just topples into about 5 different pieces, bursting into sand.
Damn.
Alright. I think that's what they meant by the pulled back creatures that one tiefling lady said.
I really don't like these things. So, are you
these
all
things
right?
came in numbers. If I could just clean this, it's really hurting. And as you look, the sand itself is really stuck to the blood and the wound. And she's like brushing off of it, and it looks like it's solidified of sorts, like it's gotten solid.
Corwin. What the fuck?
Looking over at her. Well, I'm not a medicine man like you two are, but that's cocked. It looks like you have sand in your wound.
I slap him.
Bloodwing, make a note. This woman doesn't like sand.
I give him a quizzical look.
It doesn't look like it's coming off, whatever it is.
Well,
maybe it's slightly different.
Well, I mean, you might end up like one of these, so it might be a good idea if we try to clean your wounds.
Yeah, that might be best. I don't think I would want to become one of them. You know, like this.
Sandy. Or more sandy, anyway. I attempt to desand her.
What do you use to?
These. And look down at my hands.
Okay, make a medicine check.
Yikes. Yikes.
With disadvantage.
Super yikes. That's not bad. 14.
So you're trying to brush away the sand, and you're picking off pieces of it. And as you do, you can see Chalet is like wincing in pain as you pull off portions of solidified sand. They look like they've turned to rock as they've attached themselves. When you take them off and kind of remove the portions, you're not able to get all of them, but you definitely get a lot. And clearly, once you do that, the wound itself is still open and she's still injured, but you've gotten off the sand itself. It was a very meticulous process, easily taking you nearly 5 minutes to remove all of these pieces.
I missed most of that.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. Weird.
Okay, let me restate then. So you spent about 5 minutes picking off these pieces of sand, and as you do, you can see Chalet is like wincing in pain, and with every pluck, you can tell that you're basically taking out rocks from her wound.
Ooh.
As the sand is clumped together in such a way that they're nearly solidified rocks. After you do, you can see that the wound itself is still fully open, but you seem to have taken off most, if not all, of the sand particles themselves, and you can see she's just, at this point now, bleeding.
I give her second level cure wounds.
Okay. Roll 2d8.
Let me mark off the spell slot first.
I'm just saying. Good job marking the spell slot, though.
Someone gives me shit.
I would have given you shit. Oh, why did I mark the first one? I would have ritual casted the illusory script.
This is abysmal healing.
Oh. Well, she took 15 points, so...
She gets 5 back.
5? Did you roll 2 1s?
2 1s and my 3.
Ugh. Well, you can see when you put your hand onto her, some of the wounds patch over, and now they're more like scabs.
I mean, it's better than bleeding? Okay, we're bleeding.
You stopped the bleeding. Yeah. Thank you, Jester.
Yep.
So this is Jester.
Uh-oh.
Or Anna.
Uh-oh.
Or both.
Uh-oh.
You're the same person?
Whoa. Yeah.
You said you go by Anna, Jester, and Izith.
Yes, I am Jester. I suppose we also go by Izith. Yes, I didn't say we, I said I. I also go by Izith.
I thought you didn't use daggers. What's that? I don't know.
I decided in the heat of the moment that the dagger was the right play.
Make a deception check.
I don't trust the gnome. 30.
He looks at you. He looks in deep for quite a long time. His eyes kind of squint. Nope, that's fair. Don't know anything about these creatures. Maybe magic wouldn't have affected them, or maybe it'll even make things worse. You never know. They are sand creatures. Maybe it won't even do anything. I'm not a magic man, so I wouldn't know. He looks over at Barst. So this sword, and he kind of goes off on a tangent talking to Barst about this blade.
Oh, while they're discussing swords, I take a sample of the sand and a sample of the rock and put them... I don't know. Do we have anything to hold sand and a rock?
I'm gonna guess we probably have a few empty vials from potions or something.
Let me look.
Well, in our bag of holding, we didn't label any of them, but I would assume we're not just tossing the bottles on the ground.
I put them in the thunder barrel.
It's just, yes.
This is a good place for them.
So when you put them, are you putting them in the same place, or are you putting them separate?
Same place.
Okay. When you put them together, you can see the sand almost is attracted to this clump and just sticks to it.
That's not good. Wait. I have... This is not good. Chalet? We might have a problem.
Oh no, what's the problem?
I pulled out one of the purple rocks that we've been carrying. And I put it near the sand.
When you put it near the sand, you can see nothing happens.
Put the rock back in the bag. Had me worried there for a minute. I was like, whoa.
We're dealing with the Magi over here now.
They're everywhere. Oh no.
No, this doesn't seem to be the same. You would recall that the rocks that were attracted to each other seem to have been attracted to a very specific rock at the time.
I see. Then I have no idea. If the rock and the sand are trying to get together, I assume they're trying to reform?
I mean, maybe, but all the other ones aren't.
I pull the barrel back out with the rock and the sand in the bottom, and I look down to see what's going on.
Okay, when you put it down, there's definitely a lot of sand particles that are attaching to it, though it doesn't seem to be forming into anything. In fact, after a few moments, the rock is gone.
The fuck?
Kind of dig around, and the rock is gone. You don't know. You dig your hand into the sand, and it's just gone.
What? I like this even less. We should get out of here.
Yeah, I think so. But where are we going? Are we gonna go up this mountain, or are we gonna...
Well, I don't know. They seem to be coming from here, from this rock, or this mountain in general. I don't understand.
Well, they came up from the sand, but I don't know. Maybe inside of the mountain? It could be completely unrelated.
Is there a way in? Can I look to see if there's a way in?
You're still at the base of the mountain. In your initial perception, you didn't spot any entrances. You had to probably climb higher to spot a potential.
Corwin, could we use your boat to scout the mountain?
I mean, we could, yeah. And he holds out the cube. He just shuffles in. Greywing, nope, never mind, found it. And he pulls out the cube, and in that moment he places it down and it forms into the boat again. And he sits on the back, puts down the rest of the cube, and it forms into the wings, or the sails.
That will never not freak me out.
It's technology. It's science. Kind of. Magical science. Magic that I didn't do, but I enchanted. Greywing, make a note. Find a definition of this item.
I get in the boat. I don't have the strength.
Look, you made the character, I'm gonna fucking ride with it. So, getting onto the boat and hovering upwards to about 200 feet, you're kind of going over slowly try to ascertain any kind of entrance or difference.
Was that a question?
Yeah, that was a question.
Yeah, yes. I'm looking for anything that might be considered like a cave or just like an indent, even like a shelf.
Okay. Make a perception check.
18.
18. As you're looking, and you're looking across it, being at this height, it's very different. You can see that sand is emanating all around this mountain. And in all positions that are nearby it, there seems to be that white layer of small glass-like sand that's near the rock. As you kind of fly over it now and look inside, looking around, you definitely don't spot a very distinguishable cave, but you do see an outcropping in one of the peaks on the side. It's at the base of it that's going into like the center of it, in that like small digit almost, in like the ring. And it goes in, and you can't see anything beyond that point.
That looks conspicuous. Bring the boat near.
It does look like it was intentionally hidden, I'll say, with an 18.
Okay. Bring the boat near. You all stay in it and get away. I'm gonna go look, and if something goes bad, I will fly out and come back to you all.
Okay. So how far do you want us to go up?
It's just out of danger, I suppose.
All right. Stay safe. We have much to talk about, you and I.
Do we?
Especially considering you have my ring.
Gnomes. Yes.
But anyways, stay safe. And he lowers it to get close to the ground. Doesn't come in contact with it, but just kind of hovers it just ever so slightly above it.
Alright. I guess I'll stealth and make my way into the opening.
Okay. As he goes up, after a certain range, that cooling energy from his orb ceases, and you're standing in like this small or you're looking at this outcropping. Where you're standing becomes hot. And unnaturally hot. Like you're trying to stand on hot coals.
Ooh. Ooh.
You can make a stealth check. You're going to be at disadvantage because of the heat.
Oh, I don't like this at all. Oh. I will give myself the blessing of the trickster to negate the disadvantage.
There you go.
Yes. Clever me, yes.
Clever me.
25 for a stealth.
Okay. Easily enough, you put on you tap yourself, and you can feel that innate trickery magic kind of playing with your thoughts, or the thoughts of like the area around you, and you kind of calm down for a brief moment. Your feet are definitely burning. It's kind of singeing. It's not enough to potentially make it life-threatening or damage. It's more like a first-degree burn than anything else. And you kind of stealth up to the outcropping. When you look inside, you can tell that it's very thin. It's maybe about 2 feet wide, and it goes inwards, and inside is dark.
Shit. I'll make my way in.
Okay. You did the sidle across it?
Yeah.
Okay. Going into it, as you kind of go sideways and get inside, it's hot, and it's getting hotter as you are going further and further inside, and you travel nearly about 20 feet into it before it goes wide again, and you can stand at a normal 5 feet width. The passageway in front of you is pitch black. You cannot see.
Do I hear anything?
Make a perception check with disadvantage, as the heat is distracting you.
Gross.
Basically, because of this heat, you are at disadvantage on all your ability checks.
This is great. I'm having a great time in this hot cave. Oh, those are both 13s, so 16.
Listening in, you can hear some slight bubbling. Not sure what that is, but it's just... And that's all you hear.
Okay, I turn around and leave. This is gonna get dangerous if I go any farther.
Okay. So you sidle out, and you emerge out from the outcropping.
And I fly back down up to the boat.
You fly up, yeah. So you fly up. They just went directly above it, so that way they could stay out of sight, but in worst case scenario, they could drop down as fast as possible and get in. You flap out your wings and start flying. Once you get inside that, like, zone, it's nice and cool again, and your feet are kind of, like, recovering from the first-degree burns a lot faster. People can tell that you are sweating as you fly up. Is everything okay?
No.
What was that about?
It's very, very hot in there.
Oh.
I heard something was bubbling.
They look over at Barst. Well, then it sounds more like that molten substance is more the case. Should we investigate this?
Tis your call, or we can go report what we have now. I don't know what we could potentially do in there. Suppose we could look around to see if something is causing it.
We could. Maybe looking around will give us some information. Alternatively, we should be fine once we have Carwin go with us. It's Corwin? Sorry. But yeah, he's got that, the ice rock thing.
Might be worth checking out then.
This'll do wonders for my research then. Maybe I'll be able to find something and encompass it in a new item. Greywing, make a note. Opposite of cold rock. Everyone's kind of like just looking at him in confusion as he lowers the boat down.
We already have those
getting
things.
off.
They're called heat packs, and I pull out like a chain of heat packs. They're great for the muscles.
Chain of heat packs. Oh. Yeah, you can also feel the heat emanating from your coins still as well. It was definitely uncomfortable as you were going through the small tunnel, being that it was just warm, and then it was already getting warmer. It's like having a heating pad in the summer.
Anna, what did you do to this coin?
I don't know. I think it's a blessing of some kind. It only worked when I focused when I asked for aid from Bashaba. I felt her presence for about a moment. And then the coin changed.
Well, it's hot, and I don't like it.
Whatever it is, we're keeping it, obviously.
How do you know it's not more misfortune?
I mean, we need it for our magic anyways.
You're almost as bad as the gnome.
I think me and him are very logical.
All right,
anyways,
it's time.
So, as you guys land, and he steps off, places out his hand, and the boat turns into the cube once again. He puts it in his pocket. So this is the outcropping you were talking about, yeah?
Yeah, you gotta kind of saddle your way through here, and I take the point.
I mean, you all might. I can probably be fine, maybe. I might have to turn sideways still, too.
You're so little.
I am little, but short doesn't necessarily mean that I'm slim in the sides. Still gotta, have space for the brain.
Internally, I'm just like, gnomes!
So you sidle your way through?
Yep.
Okay. Making your way through, it is dark. And it is pitch black dark. Everyone else seems fine, because gnomes have dark vision too, yeah?
I think...
I'm pretty sure.
Rock gnomes do? I don't know if he does.
I'm, nearly certain all gnomes do.
Is it just...
I will double check. A gnome?
A gnome? Elf, drow, human, dragonborn.
Dark vision.
Gnome.
Yep. Accustomed to the life underground. That's just gnome
They
traits.
do.
They have dark vision up to 60 feet.
They do. He can see. Good for him.
Hello. Whoa. Uh-oh. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, you're good. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone seems fine apart from you and Barst.
Great.
Alright, this is dark. Are we gonna do something about that? Are we gonna light a torch, or are we going in dark when only letting those that can see be our front and back?
First, where are you? Come here.
As you guys are like looking for each other, you can hear Chalet's just like, you two look like idiots.
I am an idiot. So is he. And I point around because like I don't know where Barst is.
You hear Corwin point out, I am far more sophisticated than you, sir.
I'm
Your
not
friend is over there, and
talking to you.
your friend is over there, and you feel like he's pointing somewhere, but you don't know where that is.
This isn't helpful.
Eventually, you do meet arms with Barst.
Barst. Hello. I
Jester.
cast light on him.
Okay. So you cast light, and his armor begins to just brighten up, even though you could have casted light on yourself.
Yeah, but he's the beacon in the darkness.
You could have cast light on yourself, and then cast light on him, and your own light.
Don't care. I did not think it through.
This is why you're not logical.
This is why I'm Jester.
So when you light up this room, it's like, well, light up this passage, the walls have slight ligature marks, almost like cuts into them, and emanating from them are this slight bright, like slightly dimmer red light. Doesn't seem to be giving off light themselves, but they're reflecting the light.
like it's like the walls are kind of tinted red.
A little bit. And they're markings inside of stone, so the whole wall isn't like that. It's like only segments of it.
Weird.
And those go down continuously. The passage in front of you dips down pretty deep.
I guess we start making our way down. Carefully. I'll take point.
You're taking point?
I'm sneaky.
Alright, Barst will follow behind you, Chalet will be there, and then Corwin will be in the far back.
Alright. I'm sneaky.
Alright. Make a stealth check.
I have an hour of advantage on stealth checks. Because of the blessing.
Is it an hour or a minute?
Hour.
I mean, you can just do it again anyways.
It's
It
an
doesn't
hour.
matter. Oh, well, there you go.
Oh. 25 again.
25. Stealthing in and just kind of disappearing. Your group is doing all right. Let me roll stealth check for them. Barst. Do you want to retain control?
Oh, if you got a cliffhanger coming up, maybe.
Okay. As you are making your way down, because I would say this is still part of the moment. It was just me rolling dice. I'm not going to count that as your time. As you were making your way down, Corwin is just there, very quietly whispering to Greywing about taking certain notes. Very, very quietly. As well as that, you can hear Chalet and her armor just.
Damn it.
You aren't necessarily very quiet, especially considering you have a metal bird moving around.
Gnomes and elves, my arch nemesis.
As you make your way down, though, that bubbling begins to get louder and louder and more frequent. Just once you get down all the way, well, you presume the whole way, as it suddenly gets brighter. When you get out towards this, you kind of peek your head around, and what you see is the ground is covered in that white glass-like material. And in the center, in a pool of about 30 feet diameter, looks to be molten liquid that has bubbling with red rock inside of it. As well as that, there are tubes that are attached to the ceiling that dangle down that are pulling and drawing from this.
Oh, fuck. Corwin.
This is amazing. They've somehow created a container to change and move the lava.
You're too excited
that
about
moment,
this.
You hear the sound of the bubbling rising.
Uh-oh.
You look at the lava. The lava's not moving. But that bubbling begins to get louder and louder. Do you want to retain concentration?
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, all in.
Alright, go ahead and roll.
Whoop.
14.
Nat 1.
Alright, well.
Great.
I'm not looking forward to you using that information.
Last time there was a noise, you assumed it was going to be a skeleton. It was just a drider.
Yeah.
You've left
It
me
was
open.
just something that was, about 50 times worse. Like, what's the CR on a skeleton? 1/8?
1/8 or 1/4.
What's the CR of a drider?
A lot.
Like 12,
That's a lot.
13? Yeah. That ain't good.
Come on, that was a lot of fun.
I was level 5.
You love the Shadowfell.
No. It was the worst thing next to hell.
Actually,
Look, we haven't
think
gone
the
anywhere nice.
Shadowfell was worse than hell. Like, subjectively
Was it?
worse than hell.
Was it? I don't think it was.
We weren't constantly fearing for our life in hell. We just had to watch what we said. Other than,
Yeah.
the succubus and incubus, but we killed
Succubus,
them.
incubus, pit fiends.
They didn't kill us. Didn't even try.
They could have. We almost died to fucking Zerial. Are you kidding me? We dealt with Strahd. We dealt with Asmodeus. We almost died like 4 times. I don't know what you're talking about. We almost got dropped into a pool of lava.
And now you're
Into
at my
a pool of
mercy yet
bubbling-
again.
Yeah. I had plans. This is one of the rare occasions when I didn't want you to continue.
Wow.
Or where I wanted you to continue.
Wow. I'm
Because I had
hurt.
an idea. Look, I was more scared of you being the DM than me being the DM.
What are you trying to say?
You are vicious.
This is the
And I
end of
wouldn't-
double time. I will not stand for these insults.
No, I honestly didn't know where I was going to go with that. I had an idea, but I wasn't sure whether or not it was going to be too strong or not.
I had absolutely no fucking idea what I was doing with any of this, so I'm glad you took it in a direction that I can now build off of.
I had an idea, and that's what I based it off of in the last episode. I had a concept of like the heat and everything. I knew where I was going with that, but other than that, I had no idea about the Force.
Man, something hot this way comes.
Ooh. Well, this is interesting.
Yes. Were you looking for
There was
a better answer?
No, it's just there's like I think that it was fair to assume that both you and I knew that the small mountain wasn't going to contain the fucking retaliatory force that's been attacking the city.
God, no. Why would it?
It's no, like yeah, why would it? If it was big enough to cause siege to a city, why would they fucking keep them in such a tiny mountain? So, yeah, I think we both knew that was coming. But I think this gives a fair leniency for your part,
yeah.
as well
don't
as
know
some
If
interesting
I want to...
plot points.
Hello.
What'd you say?
Uh-oh. Hello. I
But
have
yeah, once I just have... Go ahead.
I have a complaint
About...
about DMing first.
And what would that be?
I can't set stuff up as well.
No, you're fine. It's going well.
I have huge plans for the actual finale of this arc, and I was so pumped to get there, but we never did.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's all good. Next time. Ugh. It's all good, my dude. I'll just make it worse.
I mean, we had so many days left. I didn't know what to do. I was just
2?
like, do we just wait?
Yeah, I don't
That's a
know.
lot of
I
days.
was just like, we're gonna sit
It's
here for
2
2
days and
days
3
watching
nights.
this fucking apocalypse get closer.
Yeah, and obviously we weren't gonna get in. We weren't gonna go by ourselves to investigate or something.
God no. Oh, by the way, no, it's a spoiler. I can't tell you that.
Also, by the way, what was the thing from before that you were talking about? The sundering. There was a long time ago. You said that you couldn't tell me exactly what it was because that would be a huge spoiler. That was like right when we were in Loudwater. It's
Might
like
have been a lie.
like it's
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and listen.
because I think it was like because I was listening to it again when it was uploaded, and I was thinking about it and I was like, is he talking about something similar to like the Red Wizards of Thay?
Something specifically about the Sundering or a topic adjacent to it?
Topic adjacent.
It might have been the Red Wizards of Thay.
Because I know that they're somewhat involved in the other campaign.
I might have. I know I've changed something since then, and I can't tell you what it is because that is a spoiler.
I mean, that's fine.
Whoa. Hello.
No, I was just curious because,
The fuck?
no, yeah, I was
Discord,
listening
please.
in on the other episodes and I was like, I mean,
Why is Discord so intent on shitting the bed? Hello?
is it fucking up? It might be my microphone. The wire is getting real bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, it might just be the wire.
I
But
see.
I was listening to the other episodes and there was a moment where Gopher learned about the Red Wizards of Thay.
They're bad people.
Yeah, like there was a moment where he was talking about them, and I totally forgot about it. And I was like, "Is that what he's talking about?" He didn't want to mention the Red Wizards of Thay because I would potentially know them, even though at the moment I would have fucking forgot.
God, that's so
But
fucking meta. No, definitely not. No, because
okay,
these people, the Magi, I think I told you, were dissidents of the Red Wizards. They abandoned them
that
to start their own stuff.
yeah, that's what I thought, and I was like, "Is that where he was going with that?"
No, there was something that I cannot tell you because it is still a spoiler, and it's something I
No,
changed from them,
I mean I get that. That's fine.
and you played into it perfectly. I'm so pleased.
Oh boy,
I was like, holy shit.
I played into it,
Yeah, you did.
or
Like, it was perfect.
like as a player, I just went in with it.
As the DM.
Oh, as a DM, I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I was
I'm
just
happy
like,
then.
he doesn't even know.
I don't know. You are correct. I still don't know.
It's all coming to a head.
See, that's the funniest thing. I don't get it. I don't know how we do that. We've done that like in total, I think 3 different times.
Where we kind of build up
Where
something and it doesn't ruin it for the person who's ultimately designing it.
yeah, like not even just that, but like we somehow just continue it by complete accident.
Yeah.
It happened in hell. It happened apparently there, even though I didn't know about it.
Once we get to the climax, you will immediately know, and it will be super clear to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's gonna be
That
big.
is. Oh, and there was another moment in the Shadowfell that we just met up our points at. But that's funny. This is why this is fun.
We spend too much time
It's,
together.
we do. We do hang out a lot.
Too much.
It's like when I was playing as Jordan or playing as Ryder in the episode before when he wasn't there when they were investigating the house,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, but this armor is pretty nice. It should be super easy. Just put it in the bag. Then later on, like the next session, he goes, "You know me so well. I know my friends." and I know what curiosities will pique their interests.
What will
Which is a
pique my
bad
interest,
thing to
friend,
know.
huh? Oh,
What was that?
what piques my interest?
What piques your interest?
Tell me.
You are an interesting one because I don't necessarily know.
Good.
I know that I piqued your interest with the deer.
Well, I mean, it's a magical deer, and it's
Yeah.
Sakaris, and I'm like, oh, that's like a silver spoon. I gotta take it.
Yeah. That was more just like an more of a note to give to you, just like, hey, follow this thing.
Follow it.
It headbutts you and then
And
leaves.
then Gopher killed my fucking horse.
The horse sank into the mud,
Oh.
and no one was around to hear it cry.
So
It was so bad. Basically, for that sludge, I had it where if you sat still for too long, then you became grappled. If you couldn't break free of it after another few rounds, then you became restrained. And if you couldn't break free of it then you became head deep into it, and you had to request aid from someone else. All in all, if you sit in the mud for about 2 minutes, you sink, you fully submerge.
that was fucking terrible. I hated that whole segment.
Troll's Claw?
I just
Troll's Claw wasn't good.
I despised it every moment. I just
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to
No,
play
Troll's
dice.
Claw. Yeah, Troll's Claw wasn't fun. The moment you can't sleep is just like the worst. The moment you start taking it 8 levels of exhaustion, it just becomes terrible. Oh. Ryder was the only one that could actually sleep. It took him so long to realize it.
So angry. Now we can't talk. I've doomed.
Nope. You have. At least Rex is still a killing machine.
Yeah, at least he's not completely fucked.
Yeah. To be fair, Ryder not being very charismatic would have also fucked him, but at least he could cast some spells.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, before we ramble on more, thank you everyone for listening. This is another episode of Double Time, and when we get back, we're gonna be figuring out what the fuck is going on here, so we can get some defense going.
Yeah, something hot this way comes. Ooh.
Ooh, how spicy!
Ugh. Well,
Oh my!
I've had enough of him. Goodbye, everybody. It's been a blast. Until next
Have
time.
fun. Goodbye.